I spent the past few days trying to work on another part of this crazy story that's going to come probably at the end of all these videos. And again, it's like God's not letting me finish that part of the story with technical problems, just nonstop. I adjust the contrast. There we go. Just nonstop technical problems. It's really bizarre. Anyway, so yeah. So at this point in my life, I wasn't sure what to believe, and after 6 years of that one relationship, only relationship I ever had in my life, but doesn't matter. So we broke up, and I was fairly depressed, but I was just happy to have her as a friend in my life, and I started to really just question God, you could say, because I was confused. Not that I didn't believe that Jesus died on the cross for my sins. I was just confused about it. It's like I was struggling to find solid evidence that it actually happened the way they said it happened in the Bible, and I actually had a good theory to explain it. I guess I won't go into the theory, but it's a good theory, actually. I finally found a way to invalidate it recently. But in that time, there was I think I talked in another one of my videos. I always believed something was out there, at least something that connects all of us in some way we can't see or understand. Because I have this friend who would know when I wanted to talk to him. And if it was just during the day, oh yeah, I wanted to tell him something, he calls me, yeah, coincidence, it could be the brain just making patterns out of stuff that's, just nothing. With this friend, there's 3 instances where I was up 2, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, and I really wanted to tell him something. And he would call me at that crazy hour and just ask me, hey, what's up? And every time I'd be like, what do you mean, what's up? It's like 3 in the morning. He says, what's up? I ask, I want to tell you something right now? He's like, yeah, what's up? There's 3 times he did that, and he's never called me after midnight any other times in my life. Because of that, I've always believed something's out there connecting us. There's a weird, tiny little ability I kind of like that I've had too. I won't get into it. So anyway, I was trying to do experiments, trying to figure out, what is this? Like, is this what religions are based around? Possibly this weird thing that seems to connect all of us somehow. What is it? I was trying to get to the bottom of it. And I set up an experiment, actually, to try to figure out whether, and it sounds so silly, but I mean, with that, what I had evidence of already, it's not really. The experiment, basically was trying to figure out if negative emotions can affect the way plants grow, figure out if praying for a plant could affect the way it grows, and figuring out if directing good thoughts and compliments toward a plant could help it grow. And in the experiment, I came to no conclusion. The results seemed totally random. The results didn't make any sense. It's like, okay, that doesn't work. And at that point, that's when I developed the theory: what if observing the supernatural actually makes it not work? Kind of like how when you do the quantum experiment with light, passing through 2 slits. If you observe which slit it goes through, it the light functions as a particle instead of a wave. So what if the supernatural are waves, and when you observe the supernatural, you are collapsing into a particle, taking away whatever magic, like, not that it's really magic, but whatever properties behind it away, like an interference pattern. Too much science for this. Uh, but there, so that was my theory. But there was something else going on during this experiment that I couldn't help but notice. I would walk into stores and people would come up to me, hey, like, basically, people with ministries, handing out pamphlets about who Jesus was and stuff like that. And I noticed it. It was odd. It's like, why is it, God, maybe God's not having it show up in the experiment, but I think God's trying to communicate to me other ways, but how do I know? I was starting to wonder, do I do this experiment? Like, do I stop doing the experiment and then see if these people coming to me stops, and then start the experiment again, see if they start coming to me again? I had ideas like that. Oh man, but there's one man, I don't know his name or anything. So I live my life a little weird again. I get all my food at a dumpster for the sport of it. I don't have to. I could buy it. I do it for the fun of it, okay? And there's other people out there like that too. Here's the thing. When I was doing this, there was this guy. Okay, so I gotta give you a little background about my past experiences with this guy. When I was in that relationship, and again, the person I was with, she would criticize me for my beliefs. I couldn't talk openly about Christianity, what I believed so much, because she didn't want to hear it, and basically being kind of making fun of, oh, you believe in the tooth fairy too, 5-6 years of that gets to you. But there is a thing. Often the two of us would go to the dumpsters together, we enjoyed doing it together. But whenever alarm's about to go off for my laundry being done. Might make noise. Let's see if I can cancel that alarm right now. Pause. There we go. Okay. I'm at the laundromat. Okay. So, alright, this guy, okay. There's a guy that would only appear the nights I was not with my girlfriend. And he was going in the dumpster and, taking the things that were definitely perfectly good food, and he was donating them. But, he was one of those people that would ask me, hey, have you accepted Jesus as your Lord and Savior, He would try to mix it in with the conversation, but it wasn't a smooth transition ever. It was funny. But we would have, we'd have conversations about it, and I would explain to him, well, I did in the past, but I don't know what's real and not real. Like, it's hard to know what to believe. If I die and I figure out it's all real, then yeah, of course, like, I'm a sinner. And even if it's not real, yeah, I still believe I'm a sinner. I just don't know if he actually died for us. I don't know if it was a giant scheme of people working together to take out the Jewish religion. I don't know. Like, how do I know? And our conversations would, be about that, him trying to determine whether or not I'm saved. But again, he would only appear when I was not with my girlfriend. It was strange. Now, when I started doing these experiments, when I was single, he started appearing every single time. Every single time I was at that dumpster, he was there. Which, again, strange. And, I think that's enough for this part of the story. Well, while I'm on it, I gotta say the one crazy thing. when he figured out me and that girl weren't together anymore, he did try to tell me, um, when I was with that girl, even like, hey, I think you should be with someone Christian. That's not healthy for you. And I'm like, well, yeah, I guess not. He's guess you're right. Like, of course, I'm not gonna believe it as much with someone that's trying to tell me it's all bogus, right? So, um, when he figured out me and her broke up, he was like, oh, well, that's good, Yeah, now you can find someone that's actually, Christian again and stuff like that. And I was like, and I explained to him, might start crying. I explained to him, I looked for so many years. All I wanted was someone that was Christian and just shared the same hobbies. That was all. I didn't care what they looked like. I didn't care. Why was that so hard for God to provide? And I even said, shortly before, I got with that girl for quite a while, I was just looking for anyone that was Christian, and there was no girl that had a mutual interest in me. And he said something. He said, well, maybe you weren't ready. And he said that, and I thought, there was a time I was ready. That was after I was baptized, I'm thinking. And that's when I said that prayer about taking me away from God right after the baptism. Well, that would have been the time. Probably never be ready again. That's what's going through my head. And he said something. It stuck with me. It stuck with me. He said, if you believe, God will have someone for you out there that'll share all the same hobbies. And you will find her beautiful, he said. Okay, that's enough. But that stuck with me when he said that.